Abdou Diop, Manager Development of Mazars in Africa. Thank you for joining us.
It's a pleasure.
Which is your opinion about Africa Spain Cooperation Summit? Which is your the ideas that you must give us as more interesting?
I think that this Africa-Spain Cooperation Summit is very important. On my point of view, three things are very important. The first thing is to make Spanish company understand Africa, because I think that we as African know more about Spain and Spanish companies than Spain know about Africa. So it's important to organize this kind of summit to make Spanish companies know what is about Africa. The second thing is also to share the challenges Africa are facing, to really uh, show what are the real risk, to have a good perception, because often there is a very bad perception of Africa, which is not really the reality. So it's important for such summit to show the real situation of Africa. And the third point is to point out the opportunities that are occurring in the moment for that cooperation. Because yes, there are many opportunities, each period with its own types of opportunities. Today we have opportunities because there is the great Africa Continental Free Trade Area, which is going on, creating a big, unique market. There are opportunities because Africa is moving a lot on renewable energies, where Spain has big potential. There is a lot of opportunities of the moment because many countries are talking about desalination, because we need to mobilize non-conventional water, because there are some countries facing water stress, and Spain has experience on this. We know that since COVID, people are talking about food security, and we know all the expertise Spain has on agriculture, on food processing. So there are a lot of opportunities we need to explain and show to Spain in general, and Spanish companies, to really foster this cooperation with Africa and create a new way of cooperating between different African countries and Spain.
But do you think that Spain, Europe must adapt their regulation to the reality of Africa to cooperate?
Yes, I think it's very important to adapt not only the regulation, the mindset, the way of cooperating with Africa, because yes, African countries are more and more mature, seeking for really well balanced cooperation. So when we cooperate with European countries and they want to put some conditionalities, some sovereignty conditionalities, African countries can no more accept that. So European countries, Spain included, need to change their way of cooperating and their regulation on that. The second thing is that we cannot always engage Africa on the conditions of regulating the movement of people, controlling the terrorism, and going green. We need to have more equilibrated cooperation without all these conditions, which are not really fair toward Africa. And also, we need to change the mindset in the way of dealing with Africa when it comes to Spanish companies, because until now, Spanish companies are more in trade, are more in bringing expertise in national tenders to build plants, to build desalination structures, to build energy centrals, etc. Now we need really to have Spanish companies to invest in industries. We have many big companies that are very strong in industry. They need to come and invest in the continent. Some are doing, but it's not enough. And in this new cooperation, we need to have all this change.
In which sector do you remind can cooperate the Spanish companies? Which sectors? Energy, infrastructure,
I think
tourism.
I think there are many sectors, but today the companies need to stick to the African priorities. When I say African priorities, the first priority is infrastructure, because there is a lot of lack of infrastructure. And in infrastructure, Spain is working well in Africa and has more to do. As I said, there will be many desalination projects coming, and Spanish companies are known for that. There will be many energy projects coming in renewable, but also in conventional. So there also Spanish companies can help. The second area after infrastructure is agriculture and food security. So there also we know all the expertise of Spain in agriculture, in food processing, in agro industry. So there also are many opportunities there. We know also that at the third point, African companies are African countries are looking a lot at tourism development, and there also Spanish companies have a great experience, and many others in other industries.
Green energy.
Yes, green energy, renewable energies. Uh, there are a lot of sectors of potentiality, and each African country, each African region has its own realities where Spanish companies can move forward.
One question is in the panels during these days is communication. The challenge of real information about Africa, no cliches, no stereotypes. I think that mass media we have a compromise and obligation to offer a real information, good communication about Africa.
Yes, it's clear. That's why I say you need to have another eye on Africa, not looking Africa only through what's happening at Fuerteventura and in terms of migration, or what's happening in terms of wherever there is terrorism striking. We need to look at Africa in terms of all the opportunities that are there, all the evolution. As I said, in many areas of digital, specifically in digital banking, uh, Europe must learn a lot from Africa, because we are doing so well that we are in advance than Europe in those areas. So it's important not to be stuck on the Africa of 40 years ago or 50 years ago, but to know better the reality. And that's also the role of mass media, to really communicate on uh, the reality of Africa. It's not only the role of Spanish mass media, it's first the role of Africans. As you know, there is an African proverb that say, until the story between the lion and the hunter will be uh, coming from the mouth of the hunter, we know at the end how it will finish, because the lion will never have the opportunity to say that he has won. So for us African, we need to also showcase our real story, show what's happening. And I think that's really the uh, role of medias, but also us in such forum, to talk truth, to say, yes, we have challenges, but there are things moving forward. And that's why in the panel, it was very interesting to have people talking from their heart, saying, look, you are facing challenges, we are facing on the ground challenges, and others saying, yes, but things are moving forward. Look how improvement have been made in 10 years, in 20 years. And that's how we allow each to know better the other and to be more confident on the today and the future, knowing the past.
Mm-hmm. Abu Diop from Mazars, thank you very much.